Hello you guys, I'm Fabio Hart coming back with another video. What I want to talk about in this video is what I feel it takes to pretty much have a successful cleaning business. And this is just my personal opinion. Number one, being able to delegate, okay? Being able to delegate, that will create a space where you can grow massively, okay? Number two is paying attention. And that's just paying attention to everything, folks. The thing is in the beginning, you have to be everything to everybody, okay? You have to be the employee, you have to be the administrator, you have to be the marketer, you have to be everything to everybody in the beginning, right? Because number one is your business is freshly started up. You don't have any employees or contractors. You don't have nothing but yourself in the beginning, right? So that's why I say it's very, very important to pay attention to the details. You got to be able to pay attention, okay? Now, I get asked often, people ask me, Fabio, what is more important in the beginning, getting new contracts or just maintaining your existing contracts that you get? And I would say maintaining your existing contracts, right? Because if you're just going by, and here's where a lot of people get things mixed up. If you're just going by, oh, I have 10 accounts, right? Or I have 15 accounts or 12 accounts, and you're not focusing on, just the substance of cleaning, right? Keeping the building upkept, keeping everything together, then you'll lose focus. And what'll happen is you'll wound up losing one and picking up one, losing one and picking up one. I have a friend that has that issue, right? Because he doesn't keep his head on the swivel, so to speak. He doesn't keep his eye on the prize. So he wind up picking up new contracts, but in the meantime, he losing existing contracts. So again, in the very, very beginning, I think it's very, very important to pay attention, okay? Pay attention to the details from the chemicals, the products, the administration side. Pay attention to when you do your payables, your receivables. Just pay attention to everything, okay? Sometimes everybody have that as a natural talent. Sometimes people do have that, and then sometimes you have to cultivate that, right? You have to take your time. I think so many of you just kind of rush and just say, you know what, I want to get a lot of money. I want to make, get a lot of contracts. And sometimes, and another thing, it's not always about having a lot of contracts, okay? It's not the quantity of contracts that you have. It's how much each contract pays you that you should focus on, right? So, I mean, you could have 100 contracts, right? And you're not getting paid nowhere near as close to probably what you want to get paid for 100 contracts. Meanwhile, you have somebody like me that focus on, price, that focus on the actual cleaning itself, right? Seeing how I can upsell some other things, right? For an example, a lot of contracts that we do now, and a lot of other cleaning companies don't do this, but a lot of contracts that we pick up, especially like factories, industrial buildings, we offer, just like litter pickup. So like here, for an example, this contract, we walk the outside, right? And we, pick up the litter, right? Through the course of the shift, we pick up the litter, making sure the lawn is, don't have potato chip bags and Snicker wrappers and things like that on the lawn. And that's just something extra that we do that we actually charge for, okay? A lot of people don't look at little things like that, right? That was just something that I opt when we got this contract, to make the offer seem a lot better than, what it is, right? To make it seem like they're really getting a lot for what they're paying us, okay? And you can just do simple things like that, right? You can do that at small accounts, medium-sized accounts, and even big accounts, right? Offer to, sweep up the litter, pick up the litter from the outside, right? Nothing massively, but, the potato chip bag, just the light stuff, right? The litter, okay? So it's a lot of different ways you guys can upsell. It's a lot of different ways you can increase your revenues. But again, you don't want to worry about that until you really focus on the contract at hand, right? You want to know who your contact person is. You want to know exactly what needs to be done, right? I always tell people, train yourself, then you'll be able to train other people. So many people are so worried about getting bodies into their accounts, and that is important ultimately. But if you don't know how to clean the contract yourself, when you put a body in there, how are you going to explain to them what to do or show them what to do if you never done it, right? So that's a lot of things. That's the one thing that I pride myself on. I don't do it per se myself anymore because I didn't kind of grew my business a lot bigger. But even my field supervisors and my supervisors, they go in and show them what to do at the contract. I also do a lot of cross training, right? So sometimes I have individuals that I like to call my on-call individuals. This is in the case that, this is in the case that somebody calls off, right? So what I do is have individuals that I have, on the payroll. They might be picking up like little small part-time hours, but those are my people that go to and from, go from this contract to this contract, that we cross-train in the event somebody call off. And I do that in Ohio, I do that in Georgia, do that in Michigan, right? So I like to have those type of people that we can cross-train because they can fill in at any location, okay? This is another thing that you guys might want to take a look at as you grow your business. I wouldn't solely focus on that in the beginning, because, like I say, in the beginning, you want to just train yourself. You want to make sure you know what to do, okay? And ultimately delegating, okay? Delegating the work out, that's sometimes the hardest thing for people to do, whether you have a subcontractor or whether you have an employee. Delegation is the hardest thing for a lot of people to do, because it's like you work so hard, and I know the feeling. You work so hard to get that contract, right? It might take you 3 months just to get that one contract. Here it is, you clean it, you do your thing in it. Now it's time to put a body in there, and that's the hardest thing for a lot of people to do. So a lot of times people run themselves crazy as if they should do it or not, because it took them so long to get the contract, right? So it's kind of like a baby. You don't want to relinquish that. You want to, but you don't want to. You want to for the sake that it will free up time for you, but you don't want to because it's like, what if they mess up, right? What if they steal something, right? What if they knock something over? What if they cost me money, right? So that's kind of what's running through your head. At least I know that's what was running through my head in the beginning. But you have to do it. Entrepreneurs just take risks, and that's one risk that you're going to have to take eventually, right? And that's if you want to grow to massive heights, okay? So I wanted to kind of, do a video real quickly, because a lot of times people ask me, Fabio, what's more important, picking up new contracts or maintaining the existing? And I would say maintaining the existing contracts, because once you have that in the bag, once you have a good history with them, right? Once you kind of build that up. Now, what I'm not saying is don't try to attract new contracts. I'm not saying that, but you damn sure want to pay close attention to your new contracts, because you don't want to, every time you get new contracts, you lose a contract, right? Because there's no room for growth there, right? So you want to be able to maintain your current contracts, along with picking up new contracts, okay? And don't stretch yourself thin like, Fabio, I have 20 contracts, because it's not about how many, it's what you get paid for those individual contracts, okay? And another thing, since I'm on a topic, and I probably should have listened to this or had this advice for myself early on, is it's coming to a point now that a lot of companies don't value commercial cleaning companies, okay? And this is kind of what I'm seeing. You're getting more and more, like when you walk into the building, you're getting more and more where they're trying to negotiate with you and talk you down, more like you would do an auto dealer, right? You want to talk the auto dealer down on a car, try to get the car for the lowest price. And that's kind of what this is turning into, at least what I'm finding out, right? What I'm seeing. So you can be flexible, in the beginning, but you have to have an idea as to what's the lowest you're going to go, right? Never quote them on the walkthrough, okay? I had somebody told me that. They quoted them. They kind of knew in their head how much they wanted to charge. They quoted them. They picked up that contract, but it was very, very low. You got to keep in mind, guys, that you're going to be training yourself for 30 to 60 days. After that, I will hope that you put a body in there. But if you charge too low, it's not going to be room really to pay somebody. I got several contracts that I had since 2012 that we still clean, and I'm not really making a profit on that having a body in there, right? Now, if I took that body out of there and I put myself in there, then I'll make pretty decent on that contract, right? So it's at a point now that my revenues is up high enough that I don't so much worry about that smaller account. We still pick up the check, right? I still make payroll and everything, but I don't so much worry about that particular contract because I got so many more contracts that weigh that out. So you don't want to start bidding coming in too low, because again, like I say, the lower you come in, you put a body in there, the more that eat from the profit margin, right? Because you still have whatever little overhead that you have personal bills, business bills, right? miscellaneous things that could come out, uh, products and equipment and different things like this, and it all chip away, right? So the object of the game, obviously, since you're in business, is to make a profit. Okay, so again, you want to be a little flexible with the price. I do understand the notion of, Fabio, you know, I need money right now, so I got to charge maybe this low price. A lot of us do that. I probably don't know one, including franchises. They go so low sometimes that you can't, you wouldn't even want to try to steal that account, right? Because going in that account, they charge so low that there's no room. If you mark it up, they're automatically going to tell you no, right? This franchise is paying this, right? So again, you want to make sure you have like your low range that you would go for. You don't want to go below that, but you want to kind of have an idea what's the lowest you would go, and then consider the fact of you putting a body in there because you still want to make a profit on that account. Hopefully this makes sense to you guys. I hope you understand it. Like I say, don't worry about the quantity or how many accounts you have. Worry about just each individual account, and worry about how much you're going to make on each individual account. The quantity is going to come, right? Now you can make up by upselling, like I do. I put in there, you know, to pick up the litter on the outside. You guys might throw in window cleaning. You might throw in, you know, other little jobs that you can do, right? To you know, jack the price up a little bit, right? So floor care, carpet care. So I mean, it's a lot of different things that you can kind of upsell to drive the price up and still make them feel like they're getting a good deal. Okay, so that's gonna do it for now. I just wanted to do this quick video, guys, and let you know how I felt in terms of what's important, what's really not really so much important, how I feel about how, you know, the quantity of accounts that you get versus retaining the accounts that you have. I also wanted to talk about delegation, you know, delegating the jobs out. Okay, and that's whether you have a subcontractor, that's whether you're dealing with just a W-2 employee. A lot of people ask me, Fabio, what's you know, which one should I have? Should I have an employee? Should I have a 1099 subcontractor, or should I have an employee? I'm sorry. And it's up to you guys. Me, I have employees. If it makes sense for you, for tax sake, or to keep it simplified, to have a 1099 or have an independent contractor, then you can do that, you know. So that means if they're working in, you know, on $400, that's what their check is, then that's what you get, right? And that's what they get, I should say. Okay, so then you just 1099 them at the end of the year. They're responsible for the taxes for the most part, right? Another thing, guys, I would suggest you do is every state have their own little kind of tax issue. No one state is the same. So I would suggest that you guys do as much research about taxes in your immediate area, right? In your state, right? You don't have to be the Einstein of taxes, but know enough, right? The difference between the W-2 and 1099 in your area. And this is just a simple Google search, guys, right? I mean, they do have books, tax books, and different things like that on the market that you can purchase. But if you want to just simplify it, keep it simple, you know, just Google it, right? At least for your specific state, your specific area. So you have a pretty good idea. If you don't want to Google, it's also okay to call the IRS, right? Call them, ask them some questions. That's what they're there for, to help you, you know, so you can give them a call. I think that's going to pretty much wrap it up for now. So if you have any further questions, comments, or concerns, you can definitely leave it on the video, or you can always email us at Hollywoodjanitorialserv@gmail.com. That's Hollywoodjanitorialserv@gmail.com. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe, guys. I greatly appreciate you guys. And the only person that could ever stop you from starting up your own dreams and making it to the top is you. Take care.